we are, guys. We're back under contract. It's Wednesday, and that usually means we're in the studio. And today I have a special guest. For those of you who have been following along this journey, you know how important it is for me to bring you guests that not only educate you, but empower you. Whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're in business or otherwise, under contract is really all about the commitments you make to yourself, whether it's in business, personal, financial, or in life. And today, I was bragging about it on my stories, and I can't wait to interview. We've had this on the books for a minute. A wonderful, wonderful woman. We met on social media. And if you are a woman in your 40s or older, and you're looking to reclaim your life, your health, your body, your business, this is for you. So I am thrilled. She comes all the way from Maui, and we'll have her Instagram handle available for those of you who need to follow her. And if you're a woman over 40 and you're all of those things, you need to connect with her. So today we have Angelica. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited that we got to do this in person. The power of social media, right? We met around Christmas time, maybe.
Before.
Yeah, a little bit before Christmas, and just hit it off. Similar energies, Aries and Taurus. Yeah.
We're crazy.
Yeah, a little bit.
If you get us both in the room at the same time,
Fiery.
you don't know what you're going to get.
Fiery.
What personality. So, yes, this has been kind of in the works for a while. And Angelica and I are also business partners with the Healthy Hustle workshop. And I'll let her share a little bit about that, the vision behind it, the why behind it. But really, more than anything, your story not only resonated with me because it was so transformational. Your before and after
Thank you.
is amazing.
Thank you.
Inspirational, and women can learn from what you've been through, what could be perceived as a traumatizing time in your life. Mm-hmm. You pivoted, you turned around, and you made it a blessing. Not only to yourself, but to other women. Yeah. I mean, you've worked with thousands of women who are transformed in their mind, their body, their health, and their business.
Yes.
So talk to me about why
I started this?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's go back 14 years ago. I was doing pharmaceutical sales. So for you ladies who are in the corporate world, you'll understand that grind, that hustle, that push. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. I was disconnected from myself, from my body. Looking in the mirror, you kind of like felt like I was lost myself, and quite honestly gained 40 pounds and did not like the way I looked. I mean, let's be real as women. We can all be a little bit vain. I wanted to look better. Yes, I wanted to feel better, but I also wanted to look better. And it just came to a point where I was like, I cannot do this anymore. While I was thriving in my pharmaceutical career, I was a top rep in the country. I was killing it. Great. But it came at the expense of feeling out of alignment in my body, feeling disconnected, not confident. So I hired my first coach. He helped me lose that weight, and something just like, I'm sure you've had this because we've talked about this. Something just gut punches me. Like intuition was like, you need to do this. And it's like, what do I need to do? It's like, you need to help other women not just lose weight, because as you and I know, my program and what I do is way beyond quote unquote weight loss, but help women shed the physical weight, but the emotional weight. Like I was carrying around so much. I had acne when I was younger. I was depressed. I got bullied. All these emotions tied up into that weight gain on top of the weight gain from the corporate world. So as I went through the journey, I realized this is what I wanted to do. I had that transformation. I decided to quit pharmaceutical sales, leave New York, move to California, started with personal training. That turned into nutrition coaching, which, long story short, turned into me starting my online wellness and transformation program, which has now really evolved from just quote unquote, nutrition and fitness to really body alignment, mindset coaching, life coaching, and business coaching as well. So it's all under one umbrella, because obviously I've grown over the last 14 years. So I don't just do quote unquote health, but that's how it all started. It was at that transformation. And thank you for the compliment on my, to some people it doesn't look stark, but it actually is 40 pounds. And I'm only 5'2.5". I'm short like you. Yeah. So 40 pounds on a small frame, it's a lot. Hey, listen, even if it's 5 pounds, it's your body. If you feel uncomfortable, you feel uncomfortable.
So you mentioned that you got tired of feeling that way. What were some of the feelings or symptoms that you were experiencing that someone that might be going through that right now should be paying attention to? That, hey, pay attention to this. This isn't normal.
Yeah, what I was feeling was extreme brain fog. Yeah. Like no matter, I almost felt like an 80-year-old person where I'm just like forgetting things. You walk in the room, you're like, wait, what's going on? So really bad brain fog. Waking up with migraines, even though almost like I felt hungover, but I wasn't drinking. So I felt extremely hungover, like migraines, the brain fog, obviously extreme bloat, digestive issues, like really bad IBS, and exhaustion.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if I tried to go to bed early. It did, at whatever time I woke up, I just felt really exhausted.
Yeah.
And then, like a lot of women do, I thought like, oh, let me do cardio to get this weight off and then add more stress to my body. So it was like stress on stress on stress. But I just felt really exhausted and sad, like not like myself.
It's interesting because there are so many ways, and I can speak to this as well, because in my profession, real estate, we as realtors, especially the female realtors, we are wired, number one, to internalize a lot. And number two, in this business, it is a grind, 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 grind. And all we know is one speed.
Yeah.
Right.
And high achievers, that's all we know.
Right.
Perfectionist, high achieving, all in, let's go.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Yeah. And throw in a transaction that's got a timeline and it's your pedal to the metal. And I know for me, the symptoms that I experienced were just completely hitting a wall and feeling like I am so disconnected from what I love to do so much that a lot of the realtors that are coming to our workshop tomorrow, because you've gotten some responses from them, they all have the same thing, and that's mindset. It really is all about your mindset. Talk to us a little bit about how, with your program and with what you've overcome, how did you turn your mindset around and just go, oh my gosh?
Yeah. Well, what I realized was even after losing the 40 pounds, my mindset was still not in a good place. I wasn't happy. I was like, wait, I lost all this weight and I'm still not totally happy. And that's when I realized I had to do some more coaching. So that's when I hired a life coach and an energy coach and spiritual coach, because we have to go deeper, right? It's just like when women come into my program, it's like, we can give you, and by the way, you can look this stuff up on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You want to work out? Great. Go to ChatGPT. You want to have a nutrition plan? Go to Google. So that's why we have to go deeper, because you can, just like with business coaching, there's a million strategies. But if your mindset and your energy aren't in the right place, if you keep self-sabotaging, if you're inconsistent and you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, you haven't shifted your identity.
Yeah.
So something that really helped me, and still to this day, is having a coach. Like I wouldn't be where I am because we're in the frame. Our coaches and our mentors are out of the frame. So you can only see what you can see. I can see your blind spots, just like you can see my blind spots, right? And whether you're starting a business or starting a health journey, having an outside perspective, someone to be able to really call you out in a nice way, of course, but call you out on those mindset roadblocks and really understanding your why. Is it something that your parents said to you? I had to go way back and be like, well, why did I gain so much weight? And where did these poor eating habits come? Why do I binge eat? Why do I do these things? Why do I get to a certain point in my business and then want to burn it to the ground? Because, I don't feel worthy of the next level. So deeper, deeper, deeper. You've heard the expression, humans are like onions. We just have to keep peeling the layers.
Yeah.
And that mindset piece is so important for your body transformation journey and to grow your business. If you're not working on your mindset, like if you're not growing, you're dying. That's really what I believe.
What I'm sensing about you and I've learned about you is you're very intuitive, right? You're very intuitive with this approach. And let's say that a high achiever comes to you, a female high achiever, regardless of her profession. What are some of the things that kind of are flags in your mind right away that show they're a good candidate for this versus the obvious?
Oh, if it's not physical, right? The way they speak about themselves, the way they speak about their lives, the way they're talking to me, right? Are they playing victim? Do they have a growth mindset? Are they living in negativity? Are they living in stories and excuses about why they can't do certain things? So really pay attention to the language, because words have incredible amount of energy and power. And even saying something like, I'm trying to start my health journey. No, you're doing or you're not. Are you trying to do real estate, Tammy? No, you're a realtor. You're selling. You're doing the damn right.
You're doing it.
You're doing it. So paying attention to the language. And then obviously if I'm in person with someone, it's an energetic kind of feeling. Are they turning inward? What's their body language? Are they covering themselves? Are they feeling not confident? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So if there's a woman out there right now that is, there's a lot of shame involved with this, right? Because the trauma that they're holding on to manifests in their body, which then turns around and manifests in, imbalanced hormones, gut issues, right? So we as women, and I'm going to speak for myself because I was there once, I didn't know what to look for, right? I didn't know that, my stomach being bloated all the time
was normal, right?
I thought it was normal. So I would just go take a probiotic and take a supplement and do 2 hours of cardio.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So,
and then the cycle gets worse.
Worse.
Working. I'm even more bloated.
Right. And I wonder, why did I come out of that Barry's boot camp class or Orange Theory class and my cortisol levels are so high? We had this conversation last night.
Yes.
So what is it that if a woman's out there sitting there right now going, you know what, I know I need to make a change. I'm embarrassed. I'm full of shame. I don't know where to start. What is your top 3 tips to them? Aside from connecting with a coach or you, what would those top 3 tips be?
Well, the first thing is, if you are really feeling shame, identifying why and where that's coming from. That's the first piece to look at, having that level of self-awareness, sitting with yourself, whether it's journaling, meditating, getting in nature, taking some quiet time. Like, why are you feeling this level of shame? Where is that coming from? And then the next thing would be to write down what you're feeling, right? Is it the bloat? Like, I thought bloat was normal. I'd be like, oh, I'm just bloated all day long. This must just be a normal thing. As you get older, and no, it's not. So what are you feeling? Like, what are your symptoms? Is it brain fog? Is it bloat? Whatever it may be, write it all down and then pay attention to when you're feeling it. Are you feeling it in the morning? Are you feeling it after you eat certain things? Really start to pay attention to when these symptoms are happening.
Right.
When I do a gut health protocol with someone, I always ask them that. It's not just like, don't just go and take a probiotic and take all these supplements. We actually have to get to the root cause.
It's funny how people think,
Yeah.
I'll just take a probiotic.
Take a probiotic. Yeah,
For
great.
sure.
I'll just drink a detox tea. Great. Okay, that's not how it works.
I'll just do carnivore. What?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah.
Because just go
I'll
on.
go vegan, whatever it is. So, and then just really baby steps. So just picking one thing that is going to shift you forward. It's the compound effects. It's not about doing everything at once, right? If you have not consistently worked out in 3 years, I'm not going to go say, hey, go work out 5 days a week. But can you just start with a 15-minute workout or a 10-minute workout or a 10-minute walk? Pick something so small and then build on it.
Yeah.
When women come into my program, they're like, oh my God, am I going to do all these things? I'm like, no, we're going to meet you where you're at. We have a client who's a doctor in New York City. She joined our program. She lost 13 pounds in 4 months, which is great. She just walked and did our gut health protocol, our nutrition protocol, our mindset and stress strategies. She's like, I don't even have time to do the workouts right now. Fine. But see what that walking did and the stress management and the attention to gut health.
Yeah.
I think because we see the Barry's boot camp and we feel these things, which by the way,
F45, yeah.
F45, Barry's, it's great. To each his own. But if you're a woman over 40 and your hormones are already shifting and you're in a high stress career, the last thing you need to do is a workout that is high intensity.
Right.
You don't need to do that.
I was there. I wondered why. I would walk out of these
why do I
workouts.
look so bloated?
Yeah, I'm like, why do I feel worse now coming out of that 45-minute high intensity workout? Why do I feel like shit? Like, what is going on here? So there's a lot of educating that goes on because of what you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
And as women, again, we are a mother, we are a wife, we are a girlfriend, we are a fiance. We could be the breadwinner. We're a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Whatever it is we do. We do everything. We have so many hats. And at the end of the day, we continue to fill everybody else's cup around us. We forget about ourselves. And then we wonder when we wake up one day and go, because I was there, why the hell do I feel so sad? Why do I feel like I just gave every ounce of who I am and I have nothing left for myself?
Yeah, and you feel so disconnected.
Right.
Yeah.
So I love what you're doing, not only just for women, but for what you're doing, period, because you're doing something. There's so many health coaches out there. There are so many self-professed health coaches out there online. There are so many people who are trying to do what you're doing. And what I have seen is the lack of authenticity.
Yeah. You have
No
to live it.
judgment with that.
Yeah.
But you have to have had these shoes on to walk this walk and talk this talk that you are doing so well. And again, you guys, if you don't know about her transformation, you have to go to her Instagram page.
You're embarrassing me.
And look at, no, it's amazing. It is so inspirational. And there will be women out there that won't resonate with them, but that's okay because we're on a different journey.
Right.
So when you decide to work with someone, what does that look like? I know there are assessments that have to be done.
Loaded question. Okay.
I know. What does that look like as far as like if I came to you and said, because I'm going to be working with you soon, I know when we spoke the first time, it was so comforting for me to a woman who makes decisions every day to talk with you, someone that I had not even met yet, and to speak to me so comforting and to say, it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah.
And that was so comforting because I'm so wired. No, we have to know right now. We have to do this.
We are wired that way.
So walk me through what that looks like.
Yeah, I want to speak to that right
and the success, because you've had so much success.
We, as high-achieving women, we are wired with quite the perfectionists. Most women in program, they're high achievers, whether they're lawyers, doctors, realtors, chief marketing officers, whatever they may be. And we're wired to be a little bit of perfectionists. So it's really helping you guys break that down because you don't always have to know.
Right.
When I went through my rebrand, because my old program was called Fit for Life, I didn't exactly know what the aligned method, which is a program now, was going to look like. And I got obsessed over it. I was obsessing. I was like, you know what? Just go with it. Just make the moves, take the baby steps, and it'll unfold. So it's having that trust in yourself and the universe, right? So when women apply to my program, we actually have an interview process. There's not like a link where you could just boop buy the program. It's not like that.
Right.
I believe it's a symbiotic relationship, right? Coaching, mentoring, it's a really serious relationship. So I want to make sure that anyone that's coming into my program, we're energetically aligned, whether you're working with me or my coaches. And there's sometimes when I just have to stop an interview call and we're not feeling it. It's like being on a date with that person. You're like, all right, gotta go. Yeah. So we want to make sure that it's energetically a good fit. So there's a 2-step process there, like a first kind of little short intro call, and then an application where you just kind of tell us your goals. And then we have another call. And then once you're in the program, you'll do an orientation call and an in-depth intake form. And we want to get to know you. It's not just like, okay, what's your age and your height and your weight, your goals. It's like, tell me your past trauma. Tell me what you've been through. Tell me what you're looking to achieve in life, in business, in health, in relationships, in spirituality. So it's all the facets. The aligned method really is helping you align all areas of your life, body included, business included. Okay, you want to become a millionaire in your real estate business this year? One of my clients that I'm working with, she did $500,000 last year. She's like, I want to do $1 million this year. Great. We're working on those goals. So every woman is so different. There's no one size fits all for my program. Everyone is so different that we work with. Some women come purely for gut health. Some women come for health, body transformation, and business coaching. So everyone is so unique in that respect. And I have a array of coaches to help me. It's not just me.
Different coaches.
Yeah.
So what are some things that if a woman's growing her business right now and she's getting her health dialed in and she's coaching with a coach or with you, what are some tips that you could give that person to continue growing? Like, for example, this realtor that she wants to go to $1 million this year. So what's some advice that you would give someone like that as far as continuing the program, working, it's like being accountable to one another. What are some tips that can take someone from a $500,000 a year to $1 million?
Stepping into your power and really getting clear on your unique brand and your unique angle, right? Whether you're a realtor or you're a online nutrition coach, right? I coach some other coaches. You need to know what makes you unique. Why are you a snowflake? Why are you different, right? We have our healthy hustle workshop tomorrow. That's a question we can ask the room, because if you want to grow in your business, you need to know what makes you special. I know what separates me from the millions of other health coaches out there. It's not just that I'm 40, but I'm 40, I'm in perimenopause. I've actually had my own weight loss journey. I came from corporate, right? So knowing your unique angle and story, and remembering, I tell my realtor clients that I business coach, you also have to share your story, because people need to relate to you. They're not just buying the home, they're buying you.
Yes.
And also your brand. How does your social media, what does your Instagram, what does your Facebook look like? Not to say you need to be completely anal with your brand colors, but I do think it's a smart idea. And, not just posting up sold. Like, that's great. But like your potential buyer who is looking for you, yes, they want to see that you're a great realtor and sell houses, but they could find that anywhere. So what makes you unique?
Right.
And showing up and doing stories and doing videos. Doesn't matter whether I'm coaching a nutrition coach or a realtor. The premise behind online branding and selling is similar. You know what I mean?
It's a blessing and a curse. I feel like social media is, right?
I agree with you completely.
It's like
a lot.
It's like a second job.
We met, which was great, right?
Yes.
I've met so many of my clients through social media, but then it is like you really have to maintain a certain level of energy, and you have to show up even when you don't want to show up. And but you want to have good energy behind it. So there's this energetic balance. And, I don't believe in the post 3 times a day, or, I do believe in showing up consistently, and whatever consistently looks like for you.
Then do it.
Because,
at the end of the day, we all have a story. And that's one of the taglines for this podcast is we all have a story, and it would be selfish not to share.
So it can help so many people.
Right, because your testimony obviously resonates with so many women because you've been so successful. Whether you've come from an abused background or if you've come from, being depressed because you were overweight, that right there, that sharing, that emotional transparency is so powerful because there's someone out there that will be listening and thinking, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And it goes back to mental health, right? Because they're all interconnected, which is why I feel like what you're doing is more than just about aligning their health, their mind.
It's so much
it's their
deeper.
life.
It's
right?
your
It
life.
is so much their life, which is what led us to the healthy hustle.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why was that born?
So for me personally, the end of 2024, I started to feel like, I want to do business in a different way. I've been an online coach for 7 years straight, very successful. But it's a lot of screen time, and I'm an energetic person. I come from a background of pharmaceutical sales, outside sales, where I'm used to seeing people a lot, right? And I just started craving in-person connection. So I had the idea I already run retreats for my clients, but those are only 1 to 2 times a year, right? And those are just my clients. They know me. So I was like, I want to do something where I can meet new women, help more women, and travel. Because I don't have kids. We have a dog. He's my baby. He's so cute. Go to my page to see him. But he's my child, right? But
they're our kids.
Yeah, he's and I'm married, but my husband is totally fine with travel, do your thing. So I kind of had this idea that I wanted to get out of Maui, where I live. Maui is beautiful. It's very healing, but there's not a lot of opportunity. There's not female entrepreneur groups or lots of entrepreneurial events in other states. So that was my idea. And then you and I met, and you had expressed wanting to make some shifts and do some things. And that's how it was born, right?
How did we come up with a healthy hustle? Remember, we were going back and forth.
And a million trillion names. And our friend Janelle, I was working with her. Janelle is a very a TEDx speaker, and I had a coaching call with her, and she helped me come up. So I want to give Janelle credit there because she helped with the name there. Yeah,
and it's so true
because I think we had
fem something. Yeah.
At the end of the day, why we picked healthy hustle, and I think you'll agree with me here, is because we're not going to tell you ladies not to hustle. But we want you to hustle in a healthy way, right? Because I'm from New York. I love to push. I love to make money. I love to sell. I love to help. I love to make impact. And that is kind of like a hustle nature, right? But it can be done in a more feminine way. Right. It can be done in a healthy way where we don't burn ourselves out. I don't feel burnt out. I feel great. My energy's great. I have probably more energy now in my 40s than I did in my 20s and 30s. So there's a way to hustle in a healthy way. And that's what I think the name
came to
people seem to be resonating
and
with the
it's
name.
Catchy. Yeah, it's really catchy, and the branding is on point.
And the beauty of the healthy hustle is we also can tailor it to each group that we meet with. So I already put out a survey for the one in Panama City that I'm doing, and the women all said energetics and mindset. No one even cared about health, which is fine. I probably will still talk about gut health because it's all interrelated, but I love that because that's my forte, and I love talking about it. And quite honestly, I've been talking about health since I'm 27, and I'm about to be 42. So I love talking about anything outside of health, like mindset, energetics. So that excites me.
It's all mindset. It really is all mindset because the battle is in our mind. Truly, it is.
Yeah.
Well, the Healthy Hustle Workshop is tomorrow, the San Diego chapter, if you will, at 1:30 in Carlsbad. If you don't have information, reach out to me. By the time this is out there, it will have already passed. So
maybe we can send you a
mix
replay.
That, right? But the Healthy Hustle Workshop, I'm excited about that. So if there's a woman out there right now who is just starting her high, achieving career, and she can't do coaching just yet, but she knows she wants to, what are some easy steps or suggestions she can do before she can actually make that leap into becoming, full-time accountable with a coach?
What's her reason for not having a coach?
She can't afford it right now.
Everyone could afford it. I just want to speak to that.
Yeah.
When I was in my 20s, I hired my first coach and I was making $30,000 a year, and I put it on an Amex credit card. So when something is important enough to you, you figure it out. But I mean, this is the thing. You could watch my YouTube channel. You could watch Instagram videos. You can do all these things. You can read books. At the end of the day, there is no replacement for having a mentor. So, I read a ton. I read a lot of self-help books. But it's just very different when you're working with someone that could see your blind spots. But, I would say you can maybe go to some type of in-person conferences, depending on where she lives, like a women's entrepreneurial event would be a good stepping stone to at least network and be in a room with other high-level women, because a lot of those events, they'll do some mindset coaching there. When I first started, I read Dean Grazioso, Tony Robbins, You Are a Badass. Jen Sincero is a great book. You're a Badass at Making Money. So I read a lot of those books before I decided to hire a coach. And then I did, Tony Robbins, UPW, and, just attending some of those events is always a good
It's
start.
always about just learning and growing and becoming more of who you are. Be the best version of who you are, truly.
I do want to speak
showing up for yourself.
Because you mentioned the healthy hustle. If you are a woman listening and you are part of a female networking group or a loan officer or a realtor in any state, reach out to Tammy and I, and we can arrange to come to you and hold a workshop.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's not just realtors, because we're,
It can be lawyers, it can be physicians, any woman in a high achievement.
High level, high level, high achieving, stressed out, basically.
Yeah. So, but before we wrap this up, I want to ask you, there's two questions. One, what do you see the future of what you're doing besides the healthy hustle? What's next?
More retreats. So I love holding retreats. I get bogged down because I put so much time, effort, and energy into them. So I typically only hold one a year in Tulum, but I would like to hold more. Like
Tulum.
Yeah, Tulum's amazing.
Love.
But if we can do more, if we can get one a quarter, I believe that would be really powerful.
Yeah.
So we have some in-person workshops. And really for me, what I see is not in any way, shape, or form closing down my online business, but doing more in-person stuff. I feel called to do that. So yeah, that's where
Merging the two.
Yeah.
How do you fill your own cup?
Oh gosh, all things biohacking. Wake up, meditation with red light mask, grounding every day. So I live in Maui, so I walk sunset every evening on the beach. I never miss it. And then I do cold plunge, sauna. I read. I spend a lot of time on the beach with my dog. And I have very good boundaries. So listen, ladies, we can leave the podcast with this. If you want to thrive in your business and in your health, you need to have strong boundaries. Whenever I get a testimonial from my program, that's one of the main things that, yes, I lost the weight and I feel so good, but also I learned boundaries. So now I have so much more energy. You have to learn to say no. I typically do not answer my phone after 8. I do not start my calls till 9:30 in the morning. Like I have very hard starting and stopping. And I also do not answer messages from my clients on Sundays. Like phone down, social media typically off. You typically won't see me post Sundays. It's good for your soul. I also don't scroll.
Yeah.
So which is kind of like, I know I need to do market research, but I don't scroll. So I post, and then I post on my stories if I'm talking, then I do my post, and then I hop off.
Yeah.
My friends will be like, "Oh, did you see that?" I'm like, "No, I don't scroll."
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I really try.
And these are all really wonderful things that any woman should incorporate, and especially realtors, because we as realtors, we're always this device, right? Who's doing what? Who closed what?
Yeah, the second you wake up, you should not be checking your phone. The second you wake up is time for you.
Yes.
Don't take in the world's energy. Listen, you don't need to become Buddha overnight, but spend 5 minutes just breathing, gratitude. Everyone's different. Some people like a guided meditation. Some people like music. Some people like silence. Pick what works for you. Turn inward. And it has been proven, this is a podcast for a different day, the effects of meditation on the brain, on the body.
10,000%.
Tremendous. That's why I teach it in my program. Tremendous. So I don't want to hear, oh, I can't do it. You have 5 minutes. When I first started, look, I'm a type A New Yorker. Okay. I was like, meditation, what? But my functional medicine doctor prescribed it to me.
Yes, mine does too.
I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you are way too high strung.
Yeah.
You need to meditate. It was when I got leaky gut and candida.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? He's like, transcendental meditation.
Yes.
Get on it.
Yes.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I started it and I was so resistant to it. 3 minutes felt like a freaking eternity.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It was so hard. But then over time, just like anything else, over time, now 30 minutes is up. I'm like, oh, that's it. I can keep going.
It goes so fast.
So
yeah, it's true. And Joe Dispenza is who I listen to quite often. And I'll wake up to him and I'll go to sleep with him. And that's probably the only man that I go to bed with and wake up to. Joe Dispenza.
He's a great man to go to bed.
Yeah. And it does get to that point where you crave it. I know I crave it. Like when I was kind of off yesterday, that's the first thing I do after we went and did our thing at the Pure Sauna Studio. I listened to what you sent me, and then I went to Joe Dispenza, and it just shifted.
It does.
It completely shifted my alignment, and it's so important to do that, you guys. If you can manage to get a few minutes a day in, and then
2 minutes, deep breathing for 2 minutes can change your life.
And the way that you hold your breath and you exhale, that is so important. But it will become, when I have a 30-minute meditation with Joe Dispenza and it's done and it feels like 5 minutes, and I'm like, wait, how did that happen?
It will get to that point.
Because you're just absorbing it, and your body and your soul needs it.
And don't judge yourself when you meditate. Don't be like, oh, it's a crappy meditation. All I could do was think about my to-do list.
No.
It's okay. You gave yourself a few, because I used to do that too. And we're type A, so we start judging the meditation.
That's it.
We go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
Don't judge yourself. Just the fact that you sat there and you took time out of your day. Listen, sometimes I meditate and I literally didn't even listen to what the person was saying, and I'm all in my head. It happens. We're not perfect. We're not perfect beings.
Act of doing
it's the act of giving yourself the time, and there's no perfection. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm excited to see what the future holds for you and for us.
Yes.
I'm excited for our workshop tomorrow. And if someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Instagram. Yeah.
What's your handle?
The Angelica Ventrice. So original.
Wonderful.
The
The.
is it the or
The Angelica Ventrice.
tomato. The Angelica Ventrice.
VJV.
Yeah.
You guys, like I said, I always strive to bring on powerful guests. And for my women out there, this is a must for you. This is a must in your rotation of biohacking tools that you might have. And if you're new to this space, talk with her. Get with her. She's so accessible. She's on Instagram. Reach out to her. Book a consult call with her.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, that discovery call will bring you so much insight and
Clarity.
And I cannot wait to see how many more lives you impact. And I get to be along this. I'm just a squirrel getting a nut in your world right now. So I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for you too.
Thank you so much for coming on. And as always, San Diego, we love you. Thank you for tuning in and peace out.
Ciao.